into one of the fiercest and fieriest rivalries in British football.
You see games when you work this hard.
But history counts for nothing, of course. It's all about what happens over the next 90 minutes of action.
Here's Henry. Jermaine Defoe, can he go all the way? Oh, he can. Anytime I hit a work, Arsenal score again. Bale. It's a beauty. Worth the shot, surely. Oh, dynamite.
Best in the world. I can't fool, so I'm never gonna fail. Lord knows that I've been through hell. I'm staying at the job, I'll never take an L. Yeah, anytime I hit a work goal, I either go Hulk or I go beast mode.
Hey, well, he was a hero before. He's the Messiah for Tottenham now. Gabriel!
Scintillating derby match.
This is the North London derby.
Anytime I hit a work goal.
Well, ahead of that one, here are the managers.
Have you spoken to the team about what you expect from them on Sunday? Because they've really struggled at home in the Premier League over the last 2 seasons, really.
Yeah, we speak from day first. So we have this 3-4 session. From day first, I go immediately very concrete things because there's no time to lose, even with choosing the exercise. What I said is it's not, of course, possible in short trainings to do big changes, of course, but something we need to see.
I'm sure you've seen the headlines. Arsenal have blown it. Arsenal are bottling it. Have you seen anything in the mentality since then and over the past couple of weeks that's concerned you or worried you at all?
What I've seen is a tremendous reaction again, and I'm not surprised at all. I mean, when you lose points, also in the last kick of the game again, in a very unpredictable manner, I would say, because to predict somebody with a 0.2 expected goals probably and one shot to concede an equalizer the manner that we did it is nobody can really understand that. But this is football, and that's the beauty of it. And that was a chapter. So we have a long season. Chapter 27 says, okay, we draw against Wolves in this manner. What I'm very interested is about the next one. Is what we are made of. Okay, what do we do about this, and how we write our own destiny from here and going forward.
So Spurs deciding to get on that merry-go-round with the managers and hiring Igor Tudor. You can understand why, because they had a couple days break. But were you surprised by the appointment?
Yes, I was, because Spurs are a huge club and they're not a club to be gambled with, if you like. Igor Tudor is a journeyman manager. He's never spent longer than around about a year at a football club. He may say that he's got quite a high win percentage rate, but that win percentage is based on a very small sample size, small number of goals. And the thing about Spurs is that they need a big manager with a plan that the players can have confidence in. Quite interesting looking at that VT you were showing us a second ago, because I'm not sure... Spurs don't have a warrior like any of the players we saw in that VT. There is not a Gareth Bale, a Luka Modric. There is no... And this is part of the problem. There is not a leader in that Tottenham team right now. Have no one of the calibre of Harry Kane. He's like... Harry Kane would be like Godzilla, and whoever they've got now would be like Barney the dinosaur.
I think Van der Ven.
It's just ridiculous, honestly. I know, I wasn't trying to... Actually, it's quite good, I thought, but...
I like Barney the dinosaur.
But do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They just don't have that bite. They are porous in defence. They are lightweight in midfield. There's about them conceding the most goals from outside the box. What does that tell you? The midfielders are not doing their jobs. And then you look up front and, OK, they'll score some goals here and there, but they're not that great. I mean, listen, take a look at some of these.
Yeah, this points to what you were saying, you know, conceding from outside.
I think as well, like Igor Tudor, I know he doesn't stay at clubs for long. He was at Juventus as an assistant when I was there, but I do think they needed that little bit of freshen up. You spoke about the injuries, Darren, as well. I mean, these are the types of things. When goals are being scored in the moments like that, that is players not having the willingness to get out.
Really?
That is the type of thing, you know, that's something you can't, you know, you don't need to be told. We all have bad games, right? But when you have, like, the willingness to get to a ball, that's an attitude thing for me. So hopefully, Igor Tudor going in there, it's temporary. You know, he's never stayed at a club longer than a year, as Darren mentioned. So this appointment came out way out of left field, but also... they needed something different. I think the fans now need to just get behind the team. in all honesty, because they can't keep sacking managers time and time again. Daniel Levy was the problem before, according to the fans. He's no longer there. Then it's the Lewis that's the problem. Then it's the Lewises that are the problem. Like, the players, I'm not making excuses, but they have a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
A lot of injuries.
Like the starting 11, basically.
But even I suppose my point with Spurs, now I'm happy to be the Grinch on this one. When you looked at that graphic just now, you had Nottingham Forest, you had Wolves, and then you had Spurs as conceding the most goals from outside the box. And we saw an image of Paulinho there, and we could see why he didn't last that long at Bayern Munich. Because if teams are able to get shots away that
he was good at Fulham,
to get past you, he was decent.
Really good at Fulham.
But then, he seems to have lost his way. And if they're going to do something in the summer with a new manager, and the word is that Pochettino will come in after Tudor leaves at the end of the season, then what they've got to start with is rebuilding that defence. And when Pochettino was there first time around, the joint best defence in the Premier League with Manchester United in his first season at Spurs, and in his second season, the best defence outright. He made Southampton one of the toughest places to go in the Premier League, all based on that defence. So he would rebuild them.
The thing is, I love Poch, right? And he's a good friend of mine, but I think there's this romance of what it was like at Tottenham. He's the only manager that's been there, that's got them to a Champions League final. There was even talk about Ryan Mason coming in as the interim again. Now, if the fans get what they want, they clearly want Poch back, hopefully that works out. But if it doesn't, then what? Do you get what I mean? Because he's not a miracle worker. There's a lot of problems at Spurs. Like, we talk about the injuries, but, like, do they have the pedigree of players that can take them to another level? They lost Son, Harry Kane. I like Van de Ven. I think he should be the captain. Yeah. I know Romero's the captain, but, like, Van de Ven has those qualities, but they just don't have, for me, like, a lot of young players that are decent. Archie Gray's decent, Bergvall, but they don't have, like, to make your point, enough leaders in that team. So there's a lot of frustrated fans at Spurs. But the timing of this appointment, Igor Tudor coming in the North London derby at home. Tottenham is in a place at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They don't win games there. But this could be a massive game. If Tottenham can get a result out of this one, it could really, not change everything, but...
The North London derby looms large this Sunday, February 22nd, 2026, at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Kickoff 16:30 Greenwich Mean Time, as Arsenal travel to face bitter rivals Tottenham in a match week 27 Premier League clash that could define the title race. Mikel Arteta's Gunners sit top with 58 points from 27 games, 17 wins, 7 draws, 3 losses, plus 32 GD, holding a 5-point lead over Manchester City, 53 points, but recent wobbles, drawing from winning positions against Brentford and Wolves, have intensified scrutiny on Arteta amid calls for a response. Arsenal enter on a 7-match unbeaten streak in the derby, including a dominant 4-1 win over Spurs earlier this season. Opta simulations give the visitors a 60.1% win probability, with predictions favoring a narrow 1-2 or 2-1 Arsenal victory. Arteta, under mounting pressure to deliver the club's first league title in 22 years, urged calm and focus in his pre-match presser. The media reaction is tough, we have to write our own destiny. He highlighted the need to channel pain from the Wolves' draw into performance, calling the derby the most important one right now. Injury boosts include a big possibility of Kai Havertz and Martin Ødegaard returning, potentially strengthening midfield alongside Bukayo Saka's central experiment. Tottenham, languishing in 16th and battling relegation fears, have appointed Igor Tudor as interim boss for his debut, a baptism of fire. Tudor brings intensity and organization, with pundits noting a potential new manager bounce to disrupt Arsenal. Spurs aim to end their poor home form and exploit any Gunners' nerves, but Arsenal's defensive solidity and depth should prevail if they avoid self-inflicted errors. This fixture carries huge stakes. A win restores Arsenal's buffer and momentum in the quadruple chase, while a slip amplifies pressure on Arteta as City lurk. The rivalry always delivers drama. Expect intensity, passion, and a pivotal moment in the season. Please like and subscribe.